All right, Coach Dagenais. It hasn't been released as of this taping, but you were on the Black and Gold Banneret podcast with us a little bit ago. But since it's been a little bit, but since then, what have you been working on with the team in practice, and how do you think this team is looking as the start of the season comes closer?
Well, we haven't been able to practice yet, so practice will start tomorrow. They've been doing open gyms, but I haven't been privy to anything that's going on in there because we're not allowed to be in there. But the one thing I am noticing is that they seem to be as close-knit of a team as we've had, and I think that's really important because when you're close-knit like that, you have a chance to be extraordinary. We know that we have the ability to be good, but when you're close-knit and you're playing for each other and it's a bigger thing, you have the ability to be extraordinary. So I think this group has that ability because there's a lot of extremely unselfish people that really want others to shine, and they're going to find a way to make them shine.
Claudia mentioned the competition that has been at the right side and the middle blockers. So when you look at those competitions, will you gauge who will get the best court time, or will there be a more structured position where you will try to get players in on a more equal basis or case by case basis?
Well, I think as long as you have players that deserve to be on the floor, as a coach, it's incumbent upon you to get them on the floor. And so if that has to be some sort of a rotation or matchup type situation, then so be it. But every contact in practice is scored and graded, computer ranked, and we're always looking at film, comparing it to the rankings, and if two people stand out, then they stand out in the middle position, and that's what we'll go with. But I'm pretty comfortable knowing that we have three major Division I level athletes playing in the middle. The same thing with the right side. We've got Mackenzie coming back in her fourth year right now, and then we bring in Kari Zumak, both of which can go out there and they can light it up. So it's just going to come down to who's the best person in the position at the time, who gives us the best blocking, the best passing, the best serving, best back row attack, because we know they could both hit out of the front row. But blocking, serving, defense, back row attack, that's really one of those things that separate one from another. So we'll see what happens. But I could see both playing there as well. Amber's in a great position, obviously, to be the starting setter, having been set for 4 years and heading into her fifth year. But I love the fact that she's going to be there to train and to mentor Abby Shomers, because Abby's going to be a great setter leading into the future as well. So she's going to have a mentor that's going to be fantastic, that's been through all the battles, that's been through the building, that's been through the leadership. And Abby is going to be that type of player for us into the future.
McKenna talked about how she is going to be a student teacher at Oviedo High School this year, and how she's planning on going the high school coaching route, like you mentioned it a little bit on the podcast. But having her out on the court, does it feel like you have three assistant coaches out there?
Yeah, she sees the game and feels the game at a level. I'm trying to think, in 25 years of coaching, I can't think of a single person that understands the game at the level that McKenna does. And she does it because she's always challenging herself. Just being good at something isn't enough. She wants to know why. Why is she good? And what is she missing? There's something out there. I've got to be missing something. And so she's insatiable when it comes to knowledge and volleyball IQ. And I think that's really what makes her special. I mean, she's not the tallest. She doesn't jump the highest. She's not, but she still is ranked as one of the top outside hitters in the entire country, leading point scorer in the country, because she's always looking for what's next. What can I be better at? Front row or back row, passing, defense, doesn't matter. She's always looking to be better. So to have her back for her fifth year, have her mentoring a young core of outside hitters with her, Emily Wilson, Heidi Bonde, Stella, we've got a really nice group of young outside hitters, and they get to watch one of the best every day, and they get to go against her every day, so they get to see firsthand what it's like to be really, really good.
With practice set to begin soon, what do you want to be able to work on with this team and make sure you guys have down before before the season begins, because you have some time before that happens. So
right.
what are you looking?
Not much time. And the NCAA made sure that we didn't get as much time as we thought we needed. But I think the game is an offensive game, and the offense starts from the serve receive. And so we have to be really good at handling the ball. We have to be good at handling the ball in serve receive and in defense, and then in just ball controlled situations, because it allows us to play to our strength, which is our diverse offense and the ability to spread the ball around front row, back row. Doesn't matter. So the ability to hold teams down because we're able to control the ball better than them is going to be a major focus for us this year. Something we want to be better at even than last year. Because if we can do that, our offense is going to be pretty lethal. So that's the part that we're going to really focus on. And then we're going to focus on blocking discipline and defensive discipline. We were a great blocking team last year, one of the top 5 in the country. But because we were such a great blocking team, we weren't considered number-wise a great defensive team, even though we were a very good defensive team. The defense just didn't have as many opportunities to touch the ball. So we want to make sure that we're good at both ends, because we're planning on seeing better players, better hitters, that people that can do things that we're not usually used to seeing. So the discipline in the back row and the discipline of block is going to be really important as well.
Yeah, of course, you're talking about, you lose Anne-Marie Watson and Narissa Moravec. What?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think we averaged close to 3 blocks a game. Narissa had 1.45 herself, so that's half our blocking right there. Narissa wasn't a great blocker. She was an elite blocker. Elite blocker. And then you look at right sides blocking across the country, Anne-Marie was easily in the top 3 of right side blocking over her career. So we're losing a pretty big chunk of our blocking. Now, with that being said, people waiting in the wings and people that have come in and transferred are pretty good blockers in their own right. So I feel like we can make up that gap, but we have to work at it. We have to get in there, we have to work at it and pick it apart, nuance by nuance, making sure nothing slips through the cracks. But yeah, losing those 2, obviously that is a big part of the defense that we lose.
I imagine having Amari back certainly helps with losing some of that block.
Sure, Amari's a great blocker, and I think that he has that ability to go out there and block, a ball and a half a game if he wants, because that's just the kind of athlete that's out there on the floor. Now you add in Abby Hansen, who's a tremendous blocker. Claudia, good blocker, and then you add in Chambers and you add in Zuma, both of which can shut down on that right side. So they're going to give the left side hitters fits. And then the middle blocker, just by rotation or whoever deserves to be playing at whatever time, they're going to give opponents something to think about, because those are 3 really athletic people blocking in that position.
Couple movers.
Got it. Where do you want this team to be by the end of the season?
Oh man, that's a good question. We always state our goals. Our goals are to win the conference, get a seed in the NCAA tournament, and then go as deep as we can in the tournament. But it's so hard for me to think, where we're going to be in December, when I'm more interested in where we're going to be on September 2nd. And that's really what I want. I want the team to be ready to play September 2nd, and I want the team to be firing on all cylinders by the 3rd week of September. If we're doing that, then we're setting ourselves on a course, because pretty much every week you're adding a little bit more to the package until you get to the end of the season where you're running your full system at somebody.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah,